All right. Okay, and I think I'm ready to roll. All right, so what's up, friends on Instagram? Everybody on Facebook, how y'all doing? This is Ron. I'm the owner of the originalpeople.org website. And tonight, I'm going to be talking to you all about Black History Month and basically what it means to me, why it's important, why we should celebrate it. Hey, my beautiful wife Tina, how you doing? How you doing tonight? And so we're broadcasting live on Facebook and Instagram. Tonight we're going to be talking about Black History Month. Why is it important? Should we celebrate it? What is Black History Month? So let's get started here. So my website is called originalpeople.org, and the concept is it's a global Black history and cultural website. So for me, a lot of people will say, what's the purpose of celebrating Black History Month, or why is Black History Month important, et cetera, et cetera? Well, first and foremost, my opinion is that you can't celebrate Black history in 1 month. That's just, that's common sense. From the perspective of my website and from the perspective of science, Black people are the oldest people on this planet. Genetically, the Khoisan people in South Africa, and you can, anybody can Google this or research this, but scientifically, DNA wise, everybody's DNA can be traced back to that group of people. So they are the oldest surviving people on this planet. Hey, Shanice on Facebook, Instagram. Thank you for dropping in. But so those people are the oldest people on Earth. So what that means is that Black history goes back thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of years. So how could you put hundreds of thousands of years of history into 1 month? So that's my first point. My second point is, we in America, we tend to, when we talk about Black history, we just talk about Black people in America. Hey, DJ on Instagram, thank you for dropping in. So Black people in America, we tend to, or people in America, period, tend to, when they say Black History Month, we basically only discuss Black history as in Black American history. And so from that perspective, most cases people talk about from the civil rights movement on up, or maybe going back to slavery, or, from the first Africans that were brought over here on slave ships. But even with that, that's also a very small and narrow way to speak of or think about Black history, because there's been plenty of scientific studies done and research done that proves that there were Black people in the Americas prior to the slave trade. You can even talk about the first Black people, the so-called Black Spanish conquistadors that came and explored in Mexico and in the Southeast. Esteban, you all can Google Esteban, one of the oldest Black explorers in the Americas. Even before that, there's research. The BBC did a documentary about the oldest Americans, and basically they were talking about how Black people from basically around Asia or Australia or the South Pacific, who have migrated through the years from Africa through the South Pacific basically ended up coming to the Americas. So even with that, there's thousands of years of Black history in the Americas. So my point is, talking about Black history as in it's just one month or just one nation is basically just given, in my opinion, is disrespectful to Black history. Hey, Letitia, what's up? Thank you for dropping in on Facebook. Appreciate you coming in. So from my perspective on originalpeople.org, Black history is global because Black people have been the first people on all continents all over the globe. So Black history is much bigger than 1 month, one nation. So Black history is much bigger than that. It's much bigger than the civil rights movement, slavery, or whatnot. Also, when people think about Black history, there have been Black people on all continents. If you go to the South Pacific and the islands, Andaman Islanders, in the Philippines, early people in China, all of the indigenous people on all of those continents. If you go to Europe, all of the indigenous people in those continents were Black people. I mean, that's scientifically proven. Anybody can research this stuff. So basically, if you want to talk about history of any of those continents, you have to include Black people. So originalpeople.org, we touch on Black history from all continents, all around the globe. Because at the end of the day, what unites us as Black people is the constant struggle that we've gone through over thousands of years. From the slavery, if you all saw the article that I posted a couple of days ago about blackbirding, which was something that was done to Black people in the South Pacific, where they were taken to Australia and they were enslaved. So, and that's not, we think about slave trades, we're talking about coming from Africa and coming to America as well. There's been Black people taken from different parts of the world, taken to other parts of the world and enslaved. So we all have a global kind of struggle. So that's a part of our history also. So when I talk about Black people, I'm talking about Black people in Africa. I'm talking about Black people in America. I'm talking about Black people in the Caribbean. I'm talking about Black people in Canada and Europe and Japan and China. We all have the same type of struggle. And if you all do research on all of those people, you'll see the same things happen to them. They were all enslaved. They were all put in inferior roles, basically because of the color of their skin and what people it's them because of the color of their skin. So Black history is a global thing. So Black people, like I said, you have Negrito tribes in Asia. You have indigenous Africans in Americas. You have indigenous Black people. In Europe, first people to go into Europe were Black people. So all of these people are a part of our global Black history. We should all study and learn about these people, just out of respect from them, and also we can learn from the things that they went through. So with that in mind, I like to point out when I do Black history, and you all will see throughout the month on Instagram and on Facebook, you'll see that I will post global Black history. I love and respect Dr. King's and the Rosa Parks and people like that, because yes, they are a part of our struggle in America and our global black struggle, because what they did in America not only changed things for people in America, but also for people in other countries. And I honor and respect them. Sometimes as black so-called conscious people, we can just get like overly historic, and we will try to minimize the things that people like the Dr. Kings and the Rosa Parkses or Malcolm X's and these people did. And we'll try to focus on other things and say, well, this is more important than that, or this is more important than that. But in my opinion, it's all important. What Dr. King did, what Malcolm X did. We talk about Noble Drew Ali with the Moors, Elijah Muhammad, all of these historical figures, Marcus Garvey, all of them are part of black history, and all of them are just as important as the other person, because we can learn from all of their accomplishments, from all of their struggles, even from their failures. We can look at the mistakes that all of these great leaders made, and we can actually learn from those mistakes and say, hey, he was great at this, and this, but hey, he messed up with this or whatever. And so we can actually look and analyze that stuff, still respect and love these people without demeaning them or putting them down or anything like that. And we can actually use what we learn from these people to go forward. So, and that's basically my the motto of my website is lessons from the past help us deal with the present in hopes of creating a better future. So I like to look at, I study all types of black history. I'll study Islamic stuff. I'll study stuff that black Hebrews did. I'll study stuff that Africans did. I'll study stuff that was done in Asia. All different types of stuff. And I look at all of it in totality, and I say, okay, this is good. I don't know about that. I don't know about this. But I don't disrespect any of those people, because all of those people, at the end of the day, I'm sitting up here still talking about these people. So they must have done something great. And, 20 years from now, will anybody be sitting around on Facebook talking about what I did? Who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But all of these people that a lot of times we'll sit up and debate about, this person had a better philosophy, or this person we should have listened to this person. At the end of the day, we're still talking about all of those people. So to me, that tells me that all of those people had something that they did that was profound, because people are still talking about them. Just common sense, Hey, Naturally Beautiful and Dixie Hen, I Wallace, appreciate y'all dropping in. We're just talking about Black history tonight. We're talking about why should we celebrate Black history? What's the importance of it? And basically, my main theme is Black history is global history. Black history is a major part of all human history. Think about it. All dominant civilizations, if you study history, pretty much used, accomplishment by Black people or labor by Black people to help, build their empires. If you look at America, what would America be without Black Americans? I mean, Black people pretty much built America. I mean, when you look at it financially, just labor. So we're a part of all continents, of all history of all continents. So we shouldn't just celebrate Black history in America, we should celebrate all Black history around the globe. Okay. Another thing, a lot of people during Black History Month, and I can understand this and I don't knock it. A lot of people tend to want to focus on just accomplishments. For instance, the first Black person to invent this, or the first Black person to do this, or the first Black to do this or that, which I think is great because, you know, we should celebrate accomplishments. But also, I think we should also talk about slave revolts. We should talk about the Black Wall Street. We should talk about the Atlanta race riots. We should talk about the Moorish conquest of Spain and Italy. We should talk about different, not necessarily just individual accomplishments, but major historical events and different things that happen, whether they be positive or, you know, some stuff is heartbreaking. Some, you know, talking about Emmett Till, the murder of Emmett Till. But look what came. I mean, his mother showing his face in his casket during his funeral. That's a sad thing to talk about, but think about the impact that that had on not only people in America, but people around the world, you know. So not only should we, in my opinion, not only should we talk about our individual accomplishments, achievements, we should also talk about movements. We should talk about historical events. We should talk about lynchings. We should talk about systemic racism. We should talk about things that were done to Black people so that they couldn't get into the housing market. You know, we should all talk about this type of stuff because it is a part of Black history and it has shaped us into the people who we are. So in my opinion, I think we should talk about good things and bad things. So during this month, you all will see me posting a lot of information. It's going to be, I'll post personal achievement type things. I'm going to post historical events that happen. I'm going to post some obscure stuff that some of you probably never heard of. I may post some things that you all know about. So I hope that throughout this month, you all will be watching and following and checking out the information that I will be sharing. And, you know, I hope that you all will share with your friends, families, and coworkers also. Hey, Valeria. That's right, indoctrination, Willie Lynch. Yeah, we should talk about all of that stuff. All of that is relevant. All of that is Black history. History is what it is. You know, people do rewrite history, but I like to present history as it is. This is what happened. These are the facts. You read it, you figure out what you can draw from it, you know, and you do whatever you want with it. But history is history, whether it's good or bad. You know, a few times I've done my Black History Month post, and I've had people message me and say, "Man, you sure posting, man, that's really sad, or that's really bad, or that's negative, man. You shouldn't." You know, so, but my whole thing is, why should I not post that? Number one, if you didn't know about it, I mean, just learning about something, in my opinion, is a good thing, you know, whether it's good or bad. So, you know, information, in my opinion, never hurt anybody. Not knowing stuff is what hurts people, in my opinion. So knowledge is power. And You know, I don't know everything. You know, I learn stuff every day, and I hope that you all have the same mindset, open mindset, to where you can grasp and you can learn new things. You know, as I post throughout this month. So, Black History Month, February. Lots gonna be. I'll be posting a lot of good stuff. Um, Black History Month is Black history is very vast. Even after this month, y'all know I do Black History 365 days in the year. So for me, Black History is a daily thing. Hey, Sincere and DMC, sorry, just saw you all. Appreciate y'all dropping in on Instagram. But we should all have the mindset as Black people that we should live Black history daily. Um, I have these shirts that say, and I have some earrings that I sell also that says, "I am Black history," because we are. Everybody is Black history. Everybody I'm that's watching me on Facebook and on Instagram, y'all are Black history. You know, what are y'all doing? What are y'all contributing? You know, when you all pass from this earth, who's gonna remember you? You know, and why would they? You know, what are they gonna remember you for? Everything that you do in your life is a part of history, and you know, a lot of times I see a lot of people talk about um, famous people like your Dr. Kings and your Malcolm X's, and they'll point out things that they did wrong in their life, or you know, this or that, you know. And what I say is this: those people, we look at them as these giant historical figures, but at the end of the day, they were just human. You know, when they went into the public eye, yeah, they did a lot of positive things and they tried to move Black people forward and this, that, and the other. But those are, I mean, they're still people. People are flawed. I make mistakes. You all make mistakes. Imagine if everybody followed you all around and documented stuff that you did daily, and whatever you did on your job every day. If you did a great job, people use your personal stuff and say, okay, you're a great car salesman, but you know, when you go at home at night, you do blah blah blah. So I can't buy a car from you. You know, we look at the Dr. Kings or the Marcus Garveys, and we'll say, okay, yeah, Marcus Garvey was about bringing Black people together and uniting, you know, the continent of Africa. But man, he was doing this, blah blah blah. So he was a hypocrite or this, that, or other. You know, you have to just look at people as they are. People are people, and I don't judge human beings on personal stuff. You know, now if it's something just crazy that they did or something that's just really, you know, that you just can't, you know, say, hey, this person is just a bad person. That's different. But you can't be just really picky and petty and stuff a lot of times, especially when you're judging these big historical figures, because people like the Marcus Garveys, they had the FBI and all of these groups, you know, telling lies on them and putting out propaganda and stuff. So really, historically, it's hard to even judge them because you don't know what the negative things that people say about them. You don't know what was true, or you don't know what was made up, or whatever. You know, we look at the media today, and depending on what news channel you watch, you'll get a different perspective on any story. This news channel covers this story like this. This one covers this one is conservative, this one is liberal, etc., etc. So keep that in mind when we're talking about people from history. So they were just like you and I, you know, just normal people who wanted to do something to make a difference. So I honor all of those people, and I don't, you know, I like I said, I take everything, the good and the bad, and I just kind of sift through it. And if this is good, yeah, I can learn from this. If I don't like this, then, you know, we throw that in the trash and we keep it moving. So just remember that lessons from our past help us deal with the present in hopes of creating a better future. So let's keep that perspective. That's my opinion on how we should view historical figures. Hey, Maestro, Nabi J, appreciate you. Roman Frost, what's up, all my Instagram folks, all my Facebook people. I appreciate y'all dropping in. And basically, my point of my video tonight is what is Black History Month to me? Why is it important, or why is Black history important? And basically, my overall opinion is that Black history is global history and is world history. And you can't talk about any nation on this planet without talking about Black people and their accomplishments. So let's keep that in mind, and let's not just have a narrow view of, you know, Black history is just church bombings in Birmingham, or it's this, that, and the other. Yes, that's Black history, and that's important. But everything in totality is like pieces to the puzzle. That's one piece, this is a piece, this is a piece. In order to bring everything together and bring us all together, we should study a little bit of everything. And that's just my opinion. So just to wrap this up tonight, I appreciate y'all dropping in. We will be posting a lot of good information this month for Black History Month. I do have my Black History Month quiz on originalpeople.org. I don't know if any of you have tried it. I know, you know, I know of several people, thousands of people have tried it, but if any of you have not, on Instagram or Facebook, try my Black History quiz. You'll see it's very challenging. It's not just your cookie cutter type Black history. And I set it up that way because my point is that I like to open up you all's minds and just get you all out of the mindset that this is just Black History Month is just America and individual accomplishments. This person invented this, and the third. It's much bigger than that. It's much bigger than that. Black history is global. It's a beautiful thing, and it's global. It's global. So just keep that in mind. So just summarize everything tonight. Remember, Black history, every day, everything you do is Black history. When you wake up in the morning, you go to your job, when you go home, everything that you do is a part of Black history. We're all a part of Black history. We're all united under the same struggle. And basically that's the whole purpose of my website and my whole movement, is to unite the global Black community. Hey, Mick Biter, appreciate you coming. Roman Frost, appreciate you dropping in too. So that's about it. For you all that caught my video at the end, feel free to go back and look and peek through it. Hope you all learned a few things tonight. I hope I enlightened you all on the concept of Black history and why it's important. And be sure to share the information that I post with your friends, your families, your kids. If you got kids at home, just bring them to the computer, bring them to your cell phone, pull up some of the stuff that I post, let them read it. Never too young to start learning about culture and our people. So with that said, I appreciate you all dropping in tonight. Thank you all as always. And just be looking out for more good stuff from originalpeople.org. Probably see you sometime this week. Probably be showing you all some more of my products, and we'll get to that later on this week. So just check out all my good information on originalpeople.org this week. Appreciate y'all. Peace. Have a great week.